Okay, so today we're picking up our engines from Paul. He's been kind enough to fix them up and we're at his model railroad, which he still hasn't come up with a name for it yet here in southeast Louisiana. And we're going to be running our F units here eventually in a few minutes. But Paul's come a long way, and as you've seen on the Grande Pacific Facebook page, gotten into doing a lot of detail work here on some of these buildings and weathering cars, which is, really makes the detail work and come out. The scenery and various things that he's worked on for a long time, and it's a case of we get hot and cold. This is a good case here. As you go on, people do things. This is a good scene with the railroad crossing, and the road goes off over here to the crane elevator. So there it is. And then you come around here to Transshipping International, and he's got his container cars there as a spur track to set them out. That would be a set out because the main is behind it. And the main, well, it's going to go on across the door there, okay? So eventually it'll get over there. So.
Yeah, that bridge will be about 100 miles long.
Yeah, that's a 100-mile long bridge. That's like on my railroad where you go up 4 inches and you're 1,000 miles away. Okay, that's how it works in model railroading. Okay. Short distance is thousands of miles.
And these two tracks right here are really much longer. They really hold about 50 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have to.
I got a modder's license. It's around there somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Anything works. And this is a great example of detail, down to including the dirt, and the concrete gets dirty. It's oil stains the whole bit. It's what you see. Now, he's put plastic guards all around it for us people who have big elbows, so you don't knock his lights down, which is probably a very smart thing to do.
They will light up. I just don't have them connected yet.
Ah,
there are LEDs in them. I was waiting for you to bring me a little 12-volt wall wart.
Oh, well, you missed your chance.
I missed my chance.
I got a whole crate full of them. I ain't kidding you.
I believe it.
I have 50 of them over there. I mean, you got to come dig it. It's a milk carton. Every time I get a wall wart on anything that goes bad, I just throw it in the milk carton. And it's the way it goes. Now, the rest of the layout over here.
Oh, I got to show one detail here, Art.
Is got some finished work to be done on. Yeah. But the bench work's in and the backdrop's in. So we remove the stuff and put track, and he's in business.
That's my next one. One little detail my wife pointed out. She says, you don't have any handicap parking. So I went out and had a decal made, custom decal. See, there's one on the wall there too, in front of it. And if you read it with a magnifying glass, it says it's van accessible.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And so I've got those, and all the businesses all have handicap parking now.
That's the way to go.
She said it's the law.
Well, yeah, but I got a handicap plate on my car, so I can come park my Honda right there.
There you go, right there. Huh?
Okay, there it is. Good. Always got to have a place to park my car when I go to play with model trains. Okay. So, and as you can see on this railroad, nothing on it shines. It's a rule here, people. Got a couple of buildings in here that I guess he hasn't gotten around to weathering yet, but
well, yeah, that's got real light weathering. If you look, see, it's like it was a new building, so it hadn't had time to really get messed up yet.
And we have Mid-South logistics here, so Mid-South gets a lot of play around this part of the world. So don't know why. So what we want to make a point out here is these are Athearn Genesis engines. I've had these engines for a very long time. And we're going to say some things here for all you Athearn lovers that you're not going to want to hear. So if you don't want to hear them, turn off the sound now, okay? The Athearn junk engine side frames on the engine, these had decoders in them, these were the very old Athearn Genesis that came with MRC decoders in them, and they would not keep contact with the electric connection. So you were constantly getting breaks, and the decoders would go off, the headlights would go off, the sound would reset. So what we've done is basically, after one MRC decoder failed, we replaced it with the Soundtrax AT1000, and then they came out with the Keep Alive. So then we got another Soundtrax decoder AT1000. So both units have AT1000s with Keep Alives, and my friend who did this work replaced the light bulbs in the front with LEDs. So we can turn off the Mars light.
Yes.
There we go. We've got that set up on F7. No, you said
F5.
F5. And then the Mars light comes on, and then we have the headlight where you can dim it on F7. And you can turn it off. It goes off when you go in reverse, right?
No, it stays on in reverse.
Oh, it does stay. Okay,
yeah.
Well.
If you want it off, you have to turn it off.
Okay, so, you know, that's one of those multiple thousands of settings you can do in the decoder. We're not going to get into opening up the chassis and things. We use the original speakers that came in the units. We just pulled all the older MRC decoders out and put in the Soundtrax decoders with the Keep Alive. So now we have two units that will run and function as they should.
Essentially clone the B unit off of the A unit settings.
Now these are set up as consists to run together. Now one thing about these two units, and this is something outside of talking about Soundtrax, but if you want to run these units, they're going to basically always be together. So technically, you could number them both the same, 6203, even though the other unit's got a number on it that's different. That way, you wouldn't have to have a consist set up, and they would always run together. That's one of the reasons why I go to a lot of trouble in my units that run together to have same light decoders. It's important because motor function, and you don't have to get into speed matching that may or may not work, or it gets lost. So these two units will run together. Now they both have sound. It is possible, it would have been possible to take a Soundtrax motor decoder and put it in the B unit and only have sound in the A unit if you so wished. That's not me. I just as soon in a case like this have sound in both units.
We left the prime mover and all that, and dynamic brakes working. We disable the horn and the bell in the B unit.
Yeah, the B unit, you can't run the bell or the horn. So we disabled it because there's no point. And believe me, I got units where we have two sound units and we haven't disabled the bell. You hit the bell and about the first 8 chimes, they're in sync. And then they get out of sync and it sounds like the weirdest thing you ever want to hear in the world. So yeah, it's probably best to just turn off the bell and the horn in the B unit when they're all going to run together. Okay, so let's see them operate here. Now,
what you want to do first, how about I start with a dim light?
So we dim the lights, we got the Mars light running, we turn the light back up.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Then we blow the horn. Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to try to do on these is I'm going to see if I can put those American standard diaphragms between the A and the B unit and put one on the back of put them on the B unit.
This track has never been cleaned. It's still probably got glue on it from ballast, but with a keep alive, it'll run right through it.
This is the thing right here. The biggest thing we did was the keep alive. You know, it's going to run across frogs, dead frogs, anything you can think of.
I've got it turned in here just so it won't run off the end.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah. 16 penny nail on the end of that track over there probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. Okay, so there you go. That's the new and improved Ather and Genesis F7 A and B. That really, I almost think these units date back into the last century. I think that's about how old they are. It's a great job fixing them up. Now we're going to go put them on the railroad and start running them. We'll have throwbacks. Or is it F unit Friday? F unit Friday, yeah, Friday F units. Okay, now, this is the thing that, and there is some pitfalls to the keep alive. Okay, you have to remember that the thing's going to keep running. It's going to keep moving. Even if it's on the track and we reached over and turned it off, the engine could keep running. So I'm going to come over here, wait a minute, and I'm going to point out something here, right here. Yeah, that engine can run off there. That's why I would strongly recommend that you have a nail driven in there or something right here to permanently block a train running off. It could run off just under your own controller. But Paul's going to reach in here and he's going to pick the engine up. That's a keep alive. I could literally, well, it doesn't have contact with the rail, so it wouldn't get commands. But if it was running, it would keep running. There it is. It's shut off. So there you go. That's what you're looking at.
Not reading the loco for some reason.
Well, here we are back at the Grande Pacific with our new soundtracked decodered engines with the keep alives in them, and they're working just great. We got a load on them now. So we'll put a wrap on this project and say we'll put two very good pieces of equipment back into first class running order and get them involved in the operations now.